and welcome back to North Killworth Wharf. Going to have a go at cleaning up the sides and putting a coat of blacking on the sides. Yeah, let's go and check out how the blacking's gone so far. So it looks fantastic. Yeah, it looks nice and thick. All of this looks good. All of that looks good. To give it a bit of a clean up down here, and then we'll sand and wire brush from this edge. Hopefully get this whole sheet done. There's a little bit of rust work to take care of down this end. I'm all out of fur tan, so I'll have to use a little bit of the vac tan. I've been wanting to keep that for the surfaces that you walk on, so the roof and the floors. We'll open all this up with a wire brush. We'll clean it all up with some vac tan. Sand it off in where all the bits that are excess. Well, yeah, hopefully maybe we'll get the front done as well, so we'll see how we get on this weekend. But first of all, sand it all down, put a key in it, clean it up. Wicked. Well, through the cacophony, I've sanded all of this side flush, got rid of all the chunks of paint that were anywhere, including all up here. Time to do it all again with a wire brush. Get into any of the rust that's back there and clean over all of this with some paint. Okay, so we've just wire brushed all of this section, which has the little bits of underlying rust. So now what I'm doing is just going to go over this whole thing with some white spirit, clean it all up, and then I'm actually going to vac tan this whole section along with the entire chime all the way down. And then from the hatch on we'll get down to wire brushing all of this just to give it a key, and then we'll get to blacking this, and we'll do this bit tomorrow after it's had some rust treatment time. And that's all the vac tan dry to the touch. So we'll get a sand on that, get any excess off, put a key in it, key this whole boat and paint it. Yeah, wicked. So that's all that sanded back, or everything that would come off has come off. Time to put a key in the whole thing and clean it up and paint it. Yeah, let's go. So I've just gone and put a full cross hatch key in. So it's covered in thousands of tiny scratches, well millions probably, of tiny scratches everywhere just to hold the paint. So I'm just going to clean it all up with some white spirit to de-dust and de-grease. And the scratches will visibly disappear, but they'll be there for the paint to bite into and stick to. So if it doesn't stick to this, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, wish me luck. Just to show you how hard this paint sets, this is last week's roller. Yeah, paint sets. Yeah, it's bent the roller instead of being able to pry the head up. To the point I had to pull the roller out instead of. That is now absolutely welded on there. Nope, it's all my weight on it. Not moving. So yeah, oh, and look, it took the wood away instead of taking the paint away. That's how hard the epoxy paint is. That's insane. Cannot squish it at all. Yeah, so I'm quite happy with that being on the boat. Don't generally video around when I'm mixing paint because everything gets covered in paint, including the phone. We just wanted to show you how thick this epoxy paint is. Give it a good stir, put the stick in, and it'll stand straight up. So this lovely Liverpool next to me has been here so long that there are now plants growing out of the well deck. Incredible. So we're just going to go over and have a look at Daz's boat. Apparently it's got a little bit of a water leak. So yeah, coming from his water tank. Love the bathroom in this thing, it's awesome. As we come through, we've got little side steps in.
You know the wet back goes on?
And then the bathroom, really cleverly, is a shower here with a pump out toilet at the back, and the tank runs across under the steps. I think that's a brilliant idea. But yeah, I love this little bathroom, fantastic. Onto the boat. Hello guys!
Hi,
so we've
mate.
got John and Daz. We don't see
yeah.
their faces because of international laws.
Yeah, we'll get done for that.
So yeah, so we think there's a little bit of a water leak coming out from the water tank under the couch. So Daz has just taken all the pipes off and we're just isolating and checking bits. So yeah, keep you updated. We've isolated bits, we've dried it all out. We've put blue roll in around the areas. We're going to leave it overnight and see how it gets on. But these are the troubles you face in a narrowboat with water. I mean, if it's leaking from the tank at all, it means all this couch has got to come out. It's all been screwed down and carpet glued. So yeah, so this could end up being a massive job, or it could end up being a tiny job. But boat life, man, who knows? We'll have to find out. Thought I'd come down and have a look at this. It's not quite dry yet. It's still tacky in places. Horrific paintwork. But yeah, it's sealed away. It's looking good. All the way up to the front here. So at some point we'll key all of this, give all this a sand, key it all, make it stickable. And we'll come around. And tomorrow I plan to do this side. I might do a little bit of prep now, it's starting to get a little bit nippy. So if we can get a little bit warm by doing some physical activity, we can do that. But yeah, this is the plan for tomorrow, paint all of this side. Sand off all these bits of runs of paint. But yeah, quite happy with it. I might sand it all now. It's a bit of rub and rust to deal with down here. But the Vactan worked really well on the side of the boat, so we'll just clear all this up and get it painted tomorrow before we go home. Awesome. Well, it's about 8:30. Sun's just going down, it's starting to get cold, birds are getting loud. Painted one half of the boat and then I've just hung out for the other half of the day and seen people here at the yard. It's been lovely. I'm going to get the other side painted tomorrow. It's time to start making the bed up and get ready for the evening, get ready to hunker down. Just a Sunday morning view down the boat as you wake up. The sun's just starting to peer in, dogs have just started. Time to get up and go, I reckon. I'll tell you something, it's harder and harder to get out of this bed with this heated blanket. Right, let's go check on the paint. 9:30 Sunday morning, the dogs are just starting. Thought we'd come and have a look at the paint. Looks fantastic. A couple of bugs in it, but that's pretty standard. They'll wipe out and wash out. Looks awesome. Give it a little wash down here and you'll never notice the line. But yeah, and this whole side of the boat's done. All under here. Really happy with, nice good coat. Just a little bit more to do now. Up this side. A little bit of rust treatment to do here. It's not too bad. And yeah, just gonna clean it all up, sand it down, flatten it all off. There's some bits where, you know, just clean it up while I've got a chance. And then come all the way down. We'll see if we do the front. I'm not really sure. It's actually a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. Paint's a little stiff. And it goes off pretty quick. So yeah, it's a little tougher to work with than the 90. But yeah, also there's loads and loads of bugs about. I don't want to just kill them all. But yeah, so we'll get to that. Just straighten my back out, gonna get a coffee, a little bit of breakfast, and then we'll get to work. So just first thing we're gonna do is just tidy up this little bit of rubbing where there's been some rust. So I've just put a little bit of rust treatment on the hard ding that was down here that created a little bit of a rust scrape down the side. So at this point I'm going to go and start prepping the other end with the sander and the wire brush. And we'll make our way down here. By that time we get down here, this will all be dry and we'll just go straight over it with the sander and stuff. I mean, the top's already starting to dry now. It does look very cool. It does look very cool as it reacts. So yeah, wicked, we'll get on with it. At 90 minutes, 4 sanding pads. We've gone over and flushed everything down a bit, made it a bit smoother, basically broken all the pores at the top of the paint, cleared off any debris that would have come off. Now it's time to go over it all with the wire brush and put a key in the whole thing. Then we'll clean it all with the hydrocarbon chemicals, the acetone, the white spirits, and then we'll get some paint on it. But yeah, you can see where it's been sprayed before and it just left little thick and thin bits. So that's what I'm doing sanding it. I'm just flushing it down a little bit, and for the Johnson Mastic 90 it opens up the pores a bit on the mastic paint. And so yeah, you know, bits like this where there was sprayed on and it was just little bits of thicker dripping through. So just basically while I've got a chance, I've just been flushing it down a little bit. It takes a bit of time. I don't really need to do it. It's the wire brushing that you really need, putting a key in it to make sure that the epoxy paint sticks. That's the real bit. Also just blending this edge off a little bit here, try and make it a bit of an easier seam for the paints to meet up. Yeah, wire brushing now, another 90 minutes I think, something like that. So I've also just crisped up this rubbing strake on the edge. There was loads of paint drips and stuff on it, so I've just gone and sharpened up this edge like a fresh hairline. So we'll clean all this up in a minute, but we'll get onto wire brushing first I think, big chunk to do. Sun's gone in for a minute. It's quite nice actually, it was getting a bit warm. So here is the entire side of the boat with a crosshatch key in it. It's all been sanded flush, get all the bumps out, the drips of paint, bits like that. As I've found bits of rust, I've rust treated them as I've gone. And now the whole thing has got a crosshatch key. There'll be billions of little tiny scratches in this. If the paint won't stick to this, I don't know what to tell you, the paint won't stick to anything. Even though the primer has been keyed and sanded flush. So hopefully it sticks to that well, time will tell. All this top edge I've cut nice and sharp at the top, got rid of a load of the drips. So yeah, time to give it a wash, get all the dust off it and paint it. So yeah, let's get on with some of that stuff. Well, that's all the bedding packed away, that's everything. All the coffee machine gone, everything's in the car. That's probably going to be the end of the day today. It's been grueling. I'm absolutely destroyed from painting the two sides of the boat, but they look fantastic. So I'm really happy with that. Just a full wrap to do now. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Just been tidying up out here, all the bits of glue roll and things that I used. Let's have a look at this side of the boat. Wow, it looks glorious. Has absolutely destroyed me though. Very tiring, believe it or not. But I guess it's quite a big chunk of metal, but it's basic metal, but the paint's stiff. I'm trying to lay it all off, trying to make it look as good as possible, but yeah, it's not bad. It's not as good as sprayed. But it is absolutely rock hard, or it will be rock hard. And I'm not sure whether to bitumen paint over this actually. We'll just put regular blacking on top and use this as an underlayer just to keep the steel protected. Yeah, let me know what you think. It might be crazy, but yeah, it looks fantastic. So let's have a quick scoot around the other side. I mean, I might have been mistaken putting the white on here. I mean, it was quite hard to get a key into it, but we'll have a look at how the paint's taken over here on this seam, and we'll at least sand it all back and key it. I mean, but might be quite a bit of work actually putting the key in this, but you know, sanding it will be fine. So yeah, that's the majority of the boat blacked. Like I say, I'm hoping to do one more continuous coat around the entire thing, maybe next weekend. It's the Crick show next weekend apparently, or probably this weekend or last weekend depending when the video comes out. But the boat's looking fantastic. So do one more bit to black and that's done for, God, I can forget about that for 5 years at least now. That's fantastic. Just a little bit of dust on here. Just dust that will wash off. But yeah, this is going to look amazing. It does look amazing. Yeah, fantastic. So that's it now. Everything's packed up, electricity's off, boat's all locked up. this giant chunk of metals I think about in the back of my head. Even as much as I'm thinking, yeah, that's another job ticked off almost. Almost, there's no more rust now underneath the gunnels at all. Just need to do a full coat of the second layer of the epoxy blacking around the entire thing, including on the white bit at the front. I'd have to think about that for years now. But immediately there's this beast in front of me. But yeah, it's another weekend done here at North Killworth. It's lovely and quiet, lovely and peaceful. It's almost a shame to leave. It's another thing ticked off the list of the 10,000 jobs to do in the boat. Yeah, thanks for watching guys. I hope you're having fun out there wherever you're doing.